I can record.
There we go. There we go. Okay. Good morning, everybody, again. And this is Saturday, what is today? March the 11th. And we are here to celebrate our February Cadillac Coffee Club Achievers this morning. And so first of all, you are here if you did 600 wholesale or more in February. So congratulations to those of you that did that. Look around. But also, we're going to give a special shout out to the ladies who did 1,000 or more. And you got your Cadillac Coffee Club mug. And so we're definitely going to need to get a picture of everyone with our mugs. I love it. I love seeing it, you guys. Also, Nadine, I love your hair like that. It's so stinking cute. So, so we're going to need a picture of everyone. Yes. At the end. But to start out, I am going to recognize my unit's achievers, and then I'll give it over to the other ladies who had achievers as well. So I'm going to start off with Nadine Fry and introduce her with you guys, or her to you guys. Nadine started her Mary Kay business in September of 2021. She is a graduate from MK University. And she is a skincare confident consultant, color confident consultant, and clinical solutions confident consultant, which means she is a whole product confident consultant. She has been a star consultant 4 quarters, with her highest quarter being at the emerald level. So please help me welcome senior consultant Nadine Fry. And Nadine, will you share with us your why and what you did to be in the Cadillac Coffee Club last month as a $1,000 achiever?
Sure. Thank you so much, Cassandra. Good morning, everybody. My why is pretty simple. I was just looking at the calendar a year ago. I actually exited the full-time workforce by choice. And my husband and I made some strategic decisions. And so I started my Mary Kay business in advance of that to prepare for my exodus, and I'm not looking back. I'm very thrilled with that decision, and my Mary Kay business has helped support that decision along the way. So, and it's allowed me to meet some fabulous people. So I really love being here. As far as last month, fortunately, we had some really awesome product drops. And when looking back, we had 2 VIP unit events, which I feel contributed greatly to my success last month. We basically had some VIP events, which we introduced the new spring products. We invited our customers on, and that really generated some sales for me. In addition to the amazing sales that they were offering, I'm actually building inventory for some vendor events I have coming up later in the year. So taking full advantage of the 60% off, different specials that we're having right now in preparation of that. So had a great month. Thank you.
Awesome. Congratulations. All right. And next up from our unit, we have Amy Jones. Amy started her business in October of 2022. She has been a star consultant 1 quarter so far, officially, although she's becoming a star this quarter as well, with her highest quarter at the emerald level. So please help me welcome senior consultant Amy Jones.
Hi, thank you. I'm excited to be here. This is my second Cadillac Coffee Club, and my business is so new. So I've just been introducing it to people for the first time and getting some growth from just talking to everyone I know. And then this month was mainly successful for me because along with having some sales myself, Cassandra came and helped me host 3 parties. So that was my mega day where I got most of my sales. So yeah, I'm following up with them, and feels good. So thank you for doing that, Cassandra, for helping me with this month.
Absolutely. All right. Bridget, do you want to introduce your achievers next?
Okay. I had one, and I think I can share the screen and show her because she's not on right now. She was going to try to jump in at some point, but this is Lisa Myers. Can you see her picture here? This gorgeous lady is back in Mary Kay. We're very excited about her coming back. And if she comes back in, we'll see if we have time to let her share her story. But She was in Mary Kay a few years ago, and she's not my personal team member. She's a team member of one of my top consultants, Angie Provost. But she was just a personal user. And a lot of her customers or just friends had told her, you should really do this. You should do more than just do it for yourself, because she always looks so gorgeous. She loves products. She loves makeup. And she just always is, put together. So she came around to the idea years later to doing it more as a business. And she said, this time I really want to do it for real. So she had a launch party. She had about 27 people on her launch party. So how's that for support? It was on Zoom. And in her first month, it was just her first month, sold a couple $1,000s, and the orders are still coming in. Now she's booking her sharing appointments and her second appointments with people. So she's off to a great start. I know that she knows this business already because she's been in it, and she is just going to really take it and run with it big time this time around. So congrats to Lisa.
Awesome. Congratulations, Lisa. All right, Kate, do you want to introduce your achievers? You're on mute.
Yes, awesome. I'd love to introduce you to my beautiful mom. She's my achiever for last month. And so she did over 1,000 wholesale. And so she started May of 2019. So she's been in the business for 3 years. And I just love my mom. So I have to tell you a little bit about her personally too, but she has been a star consultant 10 times, her highest being the Ruby Star. And she's a senior beauty consultant. So she has a team that she's growing too. And my mom, let me just tell you a little bit about her. She is a nurse, and she is one of those people that goes above and beyond to love people well. Like, she will be there no matter what. And she is the biggest cheerleader, the biggest, she's so good at gathering. She's so good at just making people truly feel loved and seen. And so she truly has so much fun at her parties and will stay there forever. But we have a great time working together, and we worked together last month when I came down to South Carolina for a little bit. So that's a little bit about my mom. I'm so proud of you, and congratulations.
Well, thank you very much. This is also my second time to be on the the Cadillac coffee. So I already got my cup. So I'm like, hey, thank you very much. Caitlin has been my inspiration and will always be my inspiration. So that's my biggest why. I know we like to focus on something for ourselves, but I truly believe she's part of me, and that's why. So I just want her to do very well, and I believe in her so much. For my success last month, I knew Kate was coming back to town. Every time I know she comes to town, I try to throw something together. And we had 2 parties, a Saturday and Sunday. One day we did the basic skin, and then the second day we did the color. We invited people from the basic skin to come to the next day for color. We had 1 person return. And then as she was there, she went into saying, hey, you could be invited to one of our VIP meetings and only a few can attend. And she made it sound like it was like the greatest thing in the world. And 2 people said, I want to be there. How many spots you got left? And so it truly worked. I got some orders from that also. So it just ended up being a good month. Plus I had a couple other reorders before that. So I think that for me, the best thing is the hands-on parties and meeting people and making them feel good.
I love it. Congratulations, Joni. All right. Do you have any other $1,000 achievers for last month? All right. Well, then let's introduce our guest speaker for today. I'm so excited about Jen. Okay, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about her. And so Jen Bouse grew up in Willard, Missouri, and later was a fourth grade school teacher. and high school cheer coach and volleyball coach. Prior to her Mary Kay journey, which began in October of 1996. Jen's journey started when she was pregnant with her daughter, Kenzie, who's now 25. She worked just a couple days a week building her customer base. Then 2 years later, she became pregnant again with her daughter, Maddie, and her business began to take a whole new look, and she was building a team along with her customer base. And when Maddie was just 2 weeks old, she picked up her first of many cars. Wow, what a great gift after just having a baby. And she went into qualification to be a sales director. She debuted as a sales director 3 months later in June of 2000, and she earned 2 more cars, earning 3 cars in 1 year, and picked up the prized pink Cadillac that year. Since being a sales director, Jen's unit has been a unit circle every year since debuting as a unit for 23 years, with a career high of the $700,000 unit club. You guys, this is royalty right here. And she and her husband have enjoyed trips to Maui, Hawaii 2 times, Rome, Italy, all expenses paid by Mary Kay. And she's been able to take her family for a 10-day dream vacation to Disney World and SeaWorld through travel vouchers with Mary Kay. And one of her most fun awards was earning the New York Times Square Unit Contest in 2017. So her picture was in Times Square. How cool is that? Jen has earned 9 diamond rings from her appearances in the Court of Sales and has 104 quarters of being a star consultant. Wow. The longevity. She's earned 13 career cars and is currently driving her 11th pink Cadillac. And Jen will tell you that she loves everything about her business, but the best prize of all is the woman she has become through her self-growth. Wow. Can anybody relate to that? The woman that we have become mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and professionally. And so Jen and I met, oh my gosh, I think it was 2015 at seminar. We were in line at the $550,000 unit club together. I remember this. And I remember meeting each other. Then we got pictures with our curses that day at seminar. It was such an amazing day. And we also got to room together. Kate was with us as well at leadership conference this past year. We had a blast. And so, Jen, I am so thankful that you are here with us today. It means the world to me. And so go ahead and take it over.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. I was drawn to Cassandra the first time we met, almost like she was my mini me. She reminded me of myself when I, was becoming a top director, and my girls are not currently doing Mary Kay. And so I just was drawn to you because of your energy and just your love for the Lord and your sweet, sweet spirit. And so I am so excited that we've stayed connected, and you've connected me with Kate and got to meet her at leadership. So it's just, I love our friendship, and I'm so thankful for you. So I'm so excited to get to know all of you guys as well. Thank you for having me. What an honor. When you're asked to speak, it truly is an honor because they see something in you that you can give to their people. And I don't take that lightly because I really believe that, sometimes it's easy to be guarded with your people because you want to make sure that what people are giving to them is valuable. And so thank you for believing in me and that I have something to offer this morning. I'm really, truly honored. So thank you for that. And congratulations to all of the winners for being on today. That's really exciting. And I know there's more to come in the next few months. So I wanted just to share, you already heard a little bit of my story, but I did want to share along the way some things that tripped me up, because I think sometimes We think people that are, at the top driving a pink Cadillac, they never have anything bad happen. They think everything happens perfectly. Well, I'm here to tell you it didn't and give you some hope. I did go through DIQ, pregnant and birthing a baby. And so I'm just here to say I have done Mary Kay with babies, toddlers, and now empty nesting. Teenage years. I can't forget that. Like that was definitely in there too. And so I feel like I have a really great view of what Mary Kay could be for a lot of people, no matter where you are in your business. And along the way, just some things that happened as obstacles for me. Number one, I came into Mary Kay not knowing how to balance my checkbook. Okay, a checkbook is an Excel spreadsheet in like book form, for those of you that are too young to know what a checkbook is. Okay, so when I came into Mary Kay, I didn't know how to balance my checkbook, okay? And so I created a lot of debt for myself and my family. That in itself was quite a ride. Almost ended in divorce for my husband and I. So it was huge. We're talking like 3 or 6 digits. Okay. So it was huge. And so I worked through that situation. I had some consultants who have stepped down who were like literally friends of mine. We're still friends, but it still hurts your heart, when you have team members that step down and they pursue something else because you see your future with them forever. And so that can be painful. We went through a daughter that was diagnosed with depression. And that was most recent when she was in college. And, the mama heart in me, I was either praying for her, I was talking to her, I was researching for her. It was my sole purpose in that, 4 years. And then of course, COVID, we all went through that. But I just want you to know that my success in my business, is not because it came easy. I have had to figure things out every step of the way, and you can too. And I think sometimes when we are working towards a goal, we just kind of give up if it doesn't happen like organically or naturally or right away. We just give up. And I am here to tell you that God has a purpose in those things. And in the last year and a half, I have been working with strength finders to really learn who I am, learning self-evaluation, self-awareness, and what my strengths are, and what balcony and basement behaviors are. And when I get into those basement behaviors, why am I doing that? And how can I get myself back up into the balconies? And I'm here to tell you that it has made a huge difference in my confidence. And before that, I was really just surviving, I would say might be the word, in my Mary Kay business. I had built quite a large unit. And so through my daughter's depression and through COVID and everything, I was working just enough to keep my Cadillac and, to stay connected with my people. But I was not in a place that I was joy filled in my business. Okay. And that was because I was living in survival mode and not really in my own strengths. And I was questioning myself. Anybody question yourself? Like, am I doing the right thing? Is this going to work? Like, can I do this? Like all the things. I was there. Okay. And so through working with the coach, I have been able to come to a place that I really know who I am. I know what I love. I know where my strengths are, and things that I still have to do that might not be in my strengths, how I can create a place of winning for me in those places that might not be comfortable for me. And so, in the last, well, just since January, I am going to share with you the my top 5 tips that I've experienced in the last couple of months. And I wanted to have that background of where I was coming from so that you would know why these things have been pivotal for me. Okay. So the first one, and I put on here how to go from 0 faces to 30 faces in a month. Okay. So I'm not breaking records. I am not like, I'm not number 1 in anything right now, but I am in a place that I really love my business, and I love who I am, and I love sharing that with other people. Sorry, I didn't know where that came from, but I just want you to know that you can be in a place where you truly love what you're doing and you're living in who you are. And so that's where all this comes from. Okay, let me gather myself here. Okay, so number one, your customers, and that's what I call them. So your customers are those customers that have been in your customer base for over a year. What do you do with those, right? Well, I have a system that I actually have used for a long time, and that system is finally at a place where I'm seeing the benefits of that. And so those customers that have been in my customers for over a year, I keep those archived. I never delete them. Okay. So that is number 1, is always archive, don't delete. Now, if you work with Project Broadcast, which I do, I have customers and consultants tags. And when I send out my year letter, so if my customers have been in my customers for over a year, I send them a letter that just says, I am updating my database, or I'm updating my profiles. And I noticed it's been a year since you placed your order. And it goes into, I'd love to offer you an updated facial. I'd love to offer you a discount for this month. Just, or maybe things aren't great for you financially, but you want to continue being on my customer list. And that's totally great. And so it's just a letter that explains that. And then I send them a message. Did you get my letter? I'd love to offer you blah, 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 blah. Okay. Now I have some that say, I'm not using Mary Kay or whatever. I used to take that totally personal, but anymore, I'm like, okay, go wrinkle. It's totally fine. I'll catch you around the next bin when you need help, right? And so I take those year letter people on my Project Broadcasts and I move them from customer to former customer. And I actually have a tagged group that says former customer. Now, directors, I do the exact same thing for consultants. So if my consultants have been in for a year, they get a letter from me after they've teed out that says, I'm adding you to my customer list. And I leave them on my customer list for an entire year, trying to regain some connection with them. If that doesn't work, I put them on, they're a former consultant list and a former customer list. Okay. So I do that as well. So that group is going to be important in just a minute when I tell you how I got started in January. Okay. and then the other one is old leads. Anybody have any old referrals? Okay, I'm not kidding. I just actually threw them away. But I had a stack, hundreds of old referrals, old leads from booths before COVID. I'm talking like a long time ago. Okay. Old leads. All right. And honestly, I was super scared to contact them. Okay. So, okay. So those two groups is really who I started working with in January because I had nothing. Okay. I had nothing. And honestly, I was kind of frozen because I was at a place that I literally wasn't booking. I wasn't holding facial appointments. I might have one here or there from, some random person that I met, but not on a regular basis. Okay. And so one thing I started doing, which I think comes up later in one of my top 5 things, but, is I started doing booking blitz with my consultants. And one thing that did is it held me accountable. And so we do a booking blitz every Tuesday and Thursday from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. On Tuesdays, it's at my house. On Thursdays, it's at our studio. And my consultants are watching me. And so it's making me do it. And I was just completely honest. I have a consultant who is really great at scripting, and she's an I personality. She makes everything fun. And so she was the one who really started this with me. And so I would just say, okay, I need help with this script. What can I say? And so that's how we started in January. And I literally was at 0. And I need to look back and count completely, but I've probably done 60 faces in 60 days, but I didn't start January 1. So I didn't complete it by March 1, but I am really continuing a really great flow of just bookings, faces, parties, the whole thing. Okay. So the first top one tip is your year customers. Number 2 is the old leads. Okay. I had that as number 2. Okay. So what I did, and Cassandra, I have a board with all of my scripts that I use. If anybody wants them, you're totally welcome to them. I can share that with you. And okay, I'm not going to say that this is the best option, but this was before I had the confidence to reach out to people, and I hired a booking company. Okay. Now I have made back much more than I spent. Okay. Just even in the last 60 days. And I no longer have them. They only did 2 months for me, but I hired them to reach out to those old leads because I had so many, it was overwhelming to me. So what they did is they plugged them into Project Broadcast, and they started contacting them. Okay. So out of that group, I got about maybe a dozen bookings. Okay. Now I had to give something to them, and I gave them all a $20 gift card to spend with me and a swag bag. Okay. And a swag bag. And it was 100% worth it because the ones that actually booked were really great quality people. And my year customers, the ones that were on my former consultant list and my former customer list, I reached out to them as well. And I didn't really even say I would give them anything. They were just helping me with my challenge of 60 faces in 60 days. And so, they were willing to help me out for some goodies. That's all I said is I'll have some goodies for those that help me out. And so that group, between those two groups, that is how I started my bookings. Now, I'm going to say the first few weeks were a little wonky. Like I just had to jump in and do it. It wasn't like I had everything perfected yet, or I even really knew what I was doing. I was flying by the seat of my pants. But I had started, and that was the whole thing, is I just jumped in and I got started. And so those were the first two, that's the first two things, is reach out to the year customers and the old leads. Okay. So number three is become a master at booking from bookings. And I have always had a niche with this. I've never had to have facial boxes. I've never had to warm chatter, which I do not like either of those two things. And so I became really good as a consultant booking from bookings. And so I knew if I could get some bookings on my date book that I could get into a really good flow. And so this is what I do to get bookings from bookings. So I'll just call this A. I do a follow-up facial game. And I use the flip chart. And at the beginning of the flip chart, I say, Mary Kay allows us to give you two facials. The first one is to introduce you to the product. And the second one is to give you a follow-up facial. And today we're going to play a game. So anytime I say the word follow-up facial, if you're the first person to raise your hand, you're going to get a ticket. And I have a box of 12 gifts. It's the 12 days of faves box. I use that box with 12 gifts in them. And whoever I draw from, you're going to get to pick a number and a gift out of the box. Okay. So that's what I use. And so all during the party, I'm saying follow-up facial, follow-up facial. At your follow-up facial, you get to choose, another mask to try, or at your follow-up facial, you can choose to do glamour, or, just on and on. And so, and I do have a, document that has the follow-up facial words to say on labels, because I have my consultants can take them off the labels and put them on their flip chart. So anyway, so that's the first one, is talk about the follow-up facial. Okay. It's like going to a doctor, they put you on new medication and they want to see you back in a month, right? To check the medication. It's the same way. I just assume they're going to do a follow-up appointment with me. Okay. They can choose whether they do that solo or with friends, but they're going to have follow-up appointment with me. Okay. Okay. So B, make sure your party is fun, because if it's not fun, they're not going to want to get together again. Okay. Like that's just the hard truth. Make sure you're having some fun, whatever that looks like. Prizes. I got these sparkly placemats after Christmas at Hobby Lobby that were like marked way down. And so they're on the table, they have their placemat is a sparkly glitter placemat. Super fun. Like, do you have the place cards out with their name on it? Do you have a swag bag ready? Like, are you taking the opportunity to have all the things to make them feel special when they come? Okay. C is ask for nominations. And I'll walk over here in a second and get you my closing sheet, but I use the, referral game, and I call that nominations. So wherever you fit that in your party, I do that, towards the end. I just let them know that they can nominate their friends for pampering like they just had. Now, whether it's virtual or whether it's in person, it doesn't matter. I still do the referrals. Tuesday night, I had a booking from an old referral, and she bought a miracle set plus some things, and she gave me 10 referrals, 10 nominations. And it was on virtual. She lives like 3 hours from me. And so you can make it work virtually as well. Okay. So don't leave money on the table by not asking for the nominations. And I will tell you, that's not always been my favorite thing. Like, I didn't want to call them, but I'm going to give you a script that's going to make it all better. Okay. I promise. Okay. D is take a picture of you and your new customer. So whether you're on Zoom or in person, take a picture. And when you are reaching out to the leads, and see my old leads, I didn't have this. And so I don't feel like I got as much feedback or those responding to me because I didn't actually have a picture of us. Now that I'm booking from my bookings and I have a picture, when I contact the nominations, they know I'm legit. Like, okay, there's a picture of them. Okay, I get it, and they'll reach out to their person. Okay. So that is D. Okay. And then E is the 4 closing questions. And my 4 closing questions, which let me grab my tic-tac-toe sheet. Hold on. Okay. So now, okay, if what you're doing is currently working, do not change it. I'm just saying, if your director has something that you're using and it's working great, then don't change it. Okay. This is only, or maybe you could just tweak something you're doing to match what I'm doing, but you're using your own thing, right? Okay. I'm not here to change what the directors are doing. I'm just saying, like, I'm sure what you're teaching is great stuff. So I'm just experienced with me. Okay. So I use this virtually and now I'm using it in person because I wanted to teach my consultants to do the same thing virtually and in person. So I created a closing sheet and everything that I can do the same. It's the same. Whatever I do virtually, I do in person. Okay. So underneath the tic-tac-toe board are 1, 2, 3, 4. And the closing questions, number 1 is, what products would you like to try at your follow-up appointment that you didn't get to try today? Or maybe I mentioned something that you can't, purchase today, but you'd like to try it then. Or, what things would you like to try at the follow-up appointment? Okay, so that's the first question. Question number 2 is, would you like to do that appointment virtually or in person? And you would be surprised. I mean, even like I had a double facial last week and they chose to do their follow-up appointment virtually. So they could invite their friends that didn't live in the town or close. And they're busy. So they're like, hey, let's try the virtual, let's try the virtual option. So that's number 2. Number 3 is, would you like to do that solo or with friends? Your follow-up appointment, solo or with friends? And then number 4 is, would you be willing to help your consultant with some training? Or would you be willing to help me with training? And I do a Pearl Party. That's another training for another time, but that's basically Q&A. Okay. And so they come on our Pearl Party with questions for me and they're trying to stump me. They're trying to give me hard questions. They end up recruiting. So those are the 4 questions. Okay. And this is what the nomination sheet looks like. It's 1 sheet. I fold it in half. It fits in my date book. And then on the back is my closing sheet. Okay. So that's my closing sheet, and the closing questions. Okay. Number 4 is just for time management. Plug them into events that you already have scheduled. So one thing that I was, concerned about was my time and dividing my time into, holding facials and parties that were all over my date book. And so I created a schedule that has, I host 1 virtual party a week, one in-person party a week and one Pearl party a week. And I plug every one of my new bookings into the one of those 3 events, or 2, because Pearl Party is the recruiting event. Okay. And so I plug them into them. And then like my virtual, I can have as many people on as I want to schedule, right? And in person, I'm doing them at my studio. So I can, same thing, I can host as many people at the same time. Okay. So for my time, the only ones that are actually getting like a separate time is like, I just can't connect with them at one of those 3 times. Or they're having a party themselves and they want to do it at their house. Okay. So those are the only things that I'm scheduling that are outside of those already scheduled events. You want to be sure to text your nominations 10 days to 1 week ahead of their appointment time. Okay. And then I already told you, but I have 2 power hours scheduled each week, Tuesday and Thursday. And that's when I message everybody. I'm starting to need to get one more like on a weekend. But I just haven't been able to fit that in yet. So everything's really Tuesday and Thursdays right now. So, I mean, if you think about it, I'm doing about 4 hours of power hour. I'm doing an hour virtually. I'm doing an hour, not even, of Pearl Party, and I'm doing probably 2 hours in person. I mean, we're talking 8 hours most, and that's like, you know, I'm a sales director. So, that's like holding, I wish I had my paper in front of me. That's like probably holding 10 to 12 faces a week. Okay. 8 hours. Like, I feel like that's really doable for most people's schedule, right? That want to move up anyway. Okay. And then, okay. And so I was going to tell you about my virtual schedule. So I do a birthday party, in person and virtually once a month. I do a pajama party, which is time-wise 3D, charcoal mask and gel mask. I do that 1 time a month, virtually and in person. I do glamour. Actually, pajama and glamour, I do multiple times in person because those are the most popular. But I do glamour and then repair. So 4 weeks out of the month, my virtuals are birthday party, pajama party, glamour. Glamour is foundation primer, CC cream, 3 eyeshadows, a cheek color, and a lipstick. And I mail all of those for 1 stamp and my closing sheets. And then the repair, which is my Wow Night War on Wrinkles. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm kind of running out of time. I'm trying to hurry. Okay, and then number 5 is keep it simple. Keep it simple. I'm currently not even offering a hostess plan because I'm not having to, like, they literally are booking without even knowing they're getting free product. It's crazy, but it's really awesome. They're like, oh my gosh, I get free product. I'm like, well, yeah, you do. And so I do have one in case they ask, and I do have one that I offer. But they're not that interested in a hostess plan, but I definitely want to give them, you know, some kudos and some things back for sure. And I do all the work. They just come and play. So when they give me their referrals, this becomes their guest list. And then I have a script that I send out that is, sorry, I'm just like, wish I had all this in front of me. Okay, so let's see here. this is my script. I'll send all this to Cassandra, but I just want to give you an idea of what I'm saying to them. Okay. Hi, Claire. My name is Jen Bouse, and your friend Jamie recently had a pampering appointment with me. I've attached a picture of us so you know I'm legit. She has been gifted a follow-up appointment with some friends, and we will do some basic skincare, foundation, and glamour. You are on the invite list to join us Friday at 5 p.m. Are you available to be a guest? It's simple, it's non-invasive, and I am booking their people. They're not going to cancel their party on me because they've got people coming, right? And I'm doing all the work. So it just makes it easy. So I do have all of these, and I'll send those to you, Cassandra. But and then I had something I just wanted to share with you as I close. Are you guys familiar with this book? Okay, so this is like the second or third time I've probably read it, but we're currently doing a devotional time every morning with my unit and a couple of other directors in their units. And this is called Birthing Bigger. Joshua 29:11, which I'm sure you guys know that verse. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Babies come out crying because they're mad. They've not known anything other than the comfortable warmth of a womb. The unfamiliar is almost always unwanted, at least initially, and there is nothing pretty about birthing. Even deliveries without the intense pain aren't pretty. Beautiful, but not pretty. It's messy. Most things that matter are, but this is how the shift into higher purpose works. We get evicted from here and relocated there. God won't bless you here with what he has for you there. If he gave you your there blessing, you'd never move from here. You'd stay. So sometimes the reason God seems like he isn't answering your prayers is that the provision doesn't fit with where you are. God isn't being mean. He is being a parent. You never learn how to walk unless you take forward steps. If you're always carried, or if everything comes to you, then you never find your legs. You never learn what it takes to get up from where you are to get where you could be and should be. God isn't holding your blessing hostage. He has just put it there, smack in the center of the place he wants to get you to. However, the place in between here and there is an obscure place of transition. God is intentionally moving you from the womb to the birth canal. It may be tight, dark, and uncomfortable, but you can stay in the incubator forever. You can't stay in the incubator forever. Embrace the shift. The best is on the other side of the birth. And sometimes that transition into, we call it our growth zone, into the glory zone, can be a little bit uncomfortable. So I'm just here to tell you that you can do it. I just did it. I know you can do it too, and I'll be cheering you on. So.
Wow, Jen, amazing. Yes, look at everybody. Wow. I'm going to open it up to for a couple people to share some quick takeaways and affirm Jen in just a second. But so you can start thinking now. But wow, there's something that really stuck out to me that you said kind of towards the beginning of when you started talking, and it was when you felt like you were just surviving in your business. And you know what stuck out to me was that you were a pink Cadillac sales director at that point, meaning your commission checks, even if you were not working at all during that time, you were still bringing in at least like $5,000 commission checks, probably ish, right? Mm-hmm. And so 4,000 to 5,000. And so, yeah, the fact that like what you did prior in your business, right, was what led you to that place of still bringing in that income with barely doing anything, first of all. But the second thing is that it doesn't matter where we're stuck is stuck, right? And so that just getting out of that place can be so like painful Even though there's probably a lot of people that would have loved to be stuck where you were. That's a great place to be stuck.
Right.
But you did what you needed to do in order to overcome getting out of that place. And that just says so much about you. And your pillow I saw right beside you in the back of you says never stop dreaming, NSD. And so we are so glad that you did not stop. And so at this time, I would love to open it up just for anybody to unmute yourself and affirm Jen and perhaps share a takeaway as well.
Thank you, Jen. I loved every single bit of it. I'm Bridget, and gosh, I have been in that place multiple times. Sometimes I feel like I'm in that place of like every other week, like, oh no, I'm out of bookings. What do I do? So you spoke to me just when I needed to hear that, and you really hit on something that I'm so glad my top ladies were here to hear it about the referrals. Because we really got away from that during COVID. And then I've been like just lazy about doing it. And it's funny because I've been saying to some people, I need to get better at getting bookings from my bookings. I need to get bookings from my bookings. And I've been like, not really sure what to do, but you're like, get the referrals, then that's your guest list. And then you book them and you have the spot on your calendar. It's like you have all the pieces in place. You are working in your strengths, my friend, because it's all just beautifully shown today. And thank you so much for sharing it.
You're so welcome. Thank you so much. And I mean, you're seeing the other side of it. It was really messy a couple of months ago, but I have gotten to a really good flow of everything. It's just working really well.
Awesome. Thank you.
Mhm.
We have time for one more. Who else to share?
Hi, I'm Beverly. Thank you so much, Jen. I just wanted to say I've been living in like a place of overthinking, if you will. I've lived in the land of the overthinker. And so I hear it all the time. We hear it everywhere. Keep it simple. But I love that the way that you say that. And then you added in, you're also multitasking with the referrals, like Bridget was saying, the layer and all of that. I love a good idea for multitasking. So I really appreciate that. And I don't love to hear that people are struggling, but I love to know that whatever level we're at, there's a struggle. We just might not have seen that struggle yet. And we see kind of like what social media posts, you always see the beauty, you never see the backdrop, right? So I feel like I appreciate your transparency with that we're all kind of in the same boat at different times. So I really appreciate it.
You're so welcome.
Yes, wonderful. Thank you again so much, Jen. And you pumped us all up. We're ready to go have a powerful day, aren't we? So have an amazing day, ladies.
Thank you for the comments, really sweet comments.
Yes, definitely. Make sure to check out the chat. All right. Well, have a great weekend, you guys. Bye.